Okay. Today they're in a different room. They're farther down. I just went and saw. I think the temple has hired these construction workers for a few different rooms. Okay, Kartal time. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranga bolite habe pulaka sharira, Hari Hari bolite na yane babe nira. Kabe nitai chandir karuna hoibe, samsara vasana mon kabe tuchha habe. Vishaya charya kabe shuddha habe mon, kabe hama herabo Shri Vrindavan. Rupa Raghunatha Pade hoibe akuti, kabe hama buddha bose jugala piriti. Rupa Raghunatha Pade hoibe akuti, kabe hama buddha bose jugala piriti. Rupa Raghunatha Pade Rahu Moraya, Prarthana Koro Ye Sada Narottamodas. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Radhe Radhe Govinda, Govinda Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govinda, Govinda Radhe. Radhe Radhe Govinda, Govinda Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govinda, Govinda Radhe. Jaya Sachinandan Jaya Gaura Hari, Sachinandan Jaya Gaura Hari. Jaya Nitai Jaya Gaur, Jaya Nitai Jaya Gaur. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Premanande. So this song, Gauranga Bolite Habe, Pulaka Sharir. Now I've been singing it for about 2 weeks, every class. But still I'm seeing that you don't know the words. Some of you. So now I'm going to test you. And you can't look at the book. So, what's the first line, the first verse? What's the meaning?
When I will chant the name of Gauranga and my tears coming, water coming from my tears. When I will chant.
Also, Pulaka Sharir, that means hairs standing on end.
Pulaka Sharir.
Or trembling of the body.
Yes.
Ecstatic symptoms.
Yes, Gauranga Pulaka Sharir means stands hair on the.
You can translate into Russian. Are you translating?
When I will chant Hari, my tears coming.
When you chant Hari?
Hari, and
yes.
Tears coming.
But actually, what does Hari Hari mean?
Gauranga?
No. Hari Hari means Hare Krishna also. Gauranga's name is bringing one effect. And chanting Krishna's name, Hari, Hare Krishna, then it brings another effect. He's asking about two things. When will these two things happen? Hari Hari Bolite Nayane Babanir. Hari Hari Bolite means when I chant Hari Hari. Then Nayane means my eyes, from my eyes, there is a flow of tears. Second verse. Do you know? Second verse. Tell. You tell it in the microphone.
Araka Benite Chander Karuna Haibe Samsara Vasana Kabe Samsara Vasana Mora Kabe Tuchka Habe.
Okay, meaning?
When Nityananda Prabhu Chandra, whose face like Chandra,
give me when mercy. What? When what?
When Nityananda Prabhu give me mercy.
Yes.
Yes. He's Chandra, Nityananda Chandra.
Karuna means what?
Karuna means mercy.
Yes.
And when my material attachment will be finished.
Yes, actually he's saying that when Nityananda Prabhu gives me his mercy, then he says that
material attachment.
Samsara vasana mor kabe tucha habe. He's saying that with the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, this will happen. Samsara vasana mor kabe tucha habe. That my samsara vasanas, do you know the meaning of samsara vasana? No, samsara means this material existence, samsara, and vasana means what? Desire to be in the samsara. All of my material desires, kabe tucha habe, they'll be very insignificant when Nityananda Prabhu gives me his mercy. Then next verse, number 3, do you know? Okay, so you should learn. You should learn so that you can repeat it, because I'm not going to stop testing you. If you think you're going to get out of this one very easily, you will not. So if you want to prolong your agony, then don't learn the verses, and I'll chastise you every single time. But by now, you should have studied the verses and you should know the meaning by now. Okay? But you don't. That means you're lazy and you're not studying. So now, the third verse is what? Shuddha Habeman.
Shubha Kabeman.
What does that mean? Vishaya Chariya Kabe Shuddha Hare Habeman.
When my mind will clarify from my material attachment and the стремлений.
So now take the first line and tell me the meaning of each word.
Okay. Vishaya Chadi.
No, each word. Vishay.
Vishay.
What is Vishay?
Vishay, it means my material desire.
No, that's samsara vasana.
Okay, not
Vishaya means. What is the meaning of the word Vishay?
Satisfied.
Huh?
Satisfied.
No, Vishay.
Someone say, "Oh, you Vishay because you want to
no.
material."
Vishayi, you're talking about.
Vishayi, yes.
The objects that are in this world, that the conditioned souls want to enjoy through their senses, through their 5 senses. They want to enjoy the objects of this world. Sound, taste, touch, smell, and What is the other? Sight, vision. The objects are called Vishaya. And do you know that Krishna is also called Vishaya Bhagavan? Did you know that?
Yes.
That Krishna is also called Vishaya Bhagavan? What does it mean? The same word is there, Vishaya Bhagavan.
Object of love. He is.
Yes,
He is
object.
He
He is the object of prem. So now, Narottam Das Thakur is saying Vishaya Charya Kabe. What does Charya mean? Charya. I told you all, you're going to have to learn the meaning of each word. Otherwise you don't know the song. You don't know the verses, and you can't really properly meditate on it when you're singing it. But if you learn the meaning of each word, then you can understand the meaning as you're singing it. So Vishaya Charya. What does Charya mean? To give it up. To give up. Charya. Just like you throw something far away. Charya. So Vishaya Charya Kabe. Kabe means when. So when I give up this Vishaya, all the objects of this world, trying to enjoy, Vishaya Charya Kabe, then what takes place?
Shudha.
Shuddha what?
Shudha, it means...
No. What's Shuddha what?
Kabe mana.
Shuddha Habe Man.
Kabe mana. Shudha Kabe mana.
What is Man?
Man is mind.
Yes.
Shudha is clean.
Yes. When my mind will be purified. By doing what? By giving up Vishaya. Your mind can never become purified as long as you're still trying to grasp and enjoy and exploit the objects of sense gratification in this world. Otherwise your mind will be completely impure and contaminated. So Narottam Das Thakur is saying that when Nityananda Prabhu gives me his mercy, then my samsara vasanas, my desires of samsara, they will become very insignificant. And then Vishaya Charya Kabe Shuddha Habe Man. Then by the power of Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, I'll be able to give up the objects of the senses in this world. Vishaya Charya Kabe Shuddha Habe Man. My mind will become purified. And then what? Next line.
Kabe Hama Herabo Shri Vrindavana. It means
each word.
When
each
kabe,
word.
Kabe, it is when.
Yes.
Hama.
Hama means what? I. Yes. Kabe Hama Herabo.
Herabo.
No.
Yes. I think Herabo it means I will reach.
No. Herabo means to see.
To see.
With my eyes I will be able to behold.
When I will see my Vrindavan, Shri Vrindavan.
What does that mean, to see Vrindavan? Does it mean that you purchase a ticket and you take a taxi to Vrindavan and then you see Vrindavan, the land, the water, the trees? Does that mean that you're seeing Vrindavan? No. What is it talking about? It's talking about actual, completely transcendental Vrindavan. When your mind becomes pure, until then you cannot see Vrindavan. You cannot see Vrindavan. You can go there, you can worship, you can pay obeisances, take dust on your head, which is very good. It will help you. But can you see Vrindavan? Can you experience? No. Because mind is not pure. But Narottam Das Thakur is praying, when will I be able to behold? That behold means to see, to have the vision of actual Vrindavan. Okay? So that's the third verse. First comes chanting the name of Gauranga. And because of that, hairs will stand on end in my body. Chanting the name of Krishna, Hari Hari, when tears will flow from my eyes when I chant. Arkabe Nitai Chand, when will Nityananda Prabhu be merciful to me? Karana Hoibe, when will he give me his mercy? Then, Samsara Vasanamor Kabe Tucha Habe. Samsara Vasanas, all my desires to enjoy the material world will be completely insignificant. Tucha. Tucha Habe. Then, fourth verse.
Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hoibe Akuti, I think. Rupa Raghunatha. When I will follow Rupa Raghunatha, it means.
Rupa Raghunath what? Pade.
Pade.
Their lotus feet.
Yes.
To follow in their footsteps. To take up their instructions in my life. Rupa Raghunatha Pade. When? Hoibe. When will this take place? When will this happen? Hoibe what? When will what happen? Akuti. Do you know the meaning of akuti? Akuti? Akuti means eagerness. I'm very eager. I'm very eager. You know the word eager? По-русски?
Жаждать.
Yeah, so excited, so eager. When will I become what? Eager to do what?
Follow.
Yes, to follow Rupa Raghunath. And Srila Prabhupada, he told that Rupa Raghunath also means from Rupa Goswami to Raghunath Das Goswami, all six Goswamis. Rupa Raghunatha Pade, Hoibe Akuti. When will I become eager to follow the footsteps of Rupa and Raghunath? Then what will happen?
I don't remember.
Then what will happen? Kabe Hama, again the same word, Hama, I. Kabe Hama, Bujhabo se Jugala Priti. Now what does Bujhabo mean? If you learn Bengali, then you'll learn this word right in the very beginning. Ami Buji. Buji. Bujhabo means, when will I be able to understand what? Jugal Priti. What does Jugal Priti mean? The love of Jugal. Jugal means Radha Krishna, the couple. Jugala Priti. When will I have this Priti? When will I understand their Priti? These are the prayers of Narottam Das Thakur. And this is his first song, I told you before, in his Prarthana songbook. And if you don't learn this song, then you are very unqualified to hear all these topics. You must learn this. Now, I'm going to give you 1 week. 1 week. And you better sit down each day and repeat again and again and again every single line. Look at the meaning of each word. That's how you memorize a verse, is by repeating it again. Then later on in the day, again and again and again, you repeat it. Within 3 days, you'll know these 4 verses. I'm not even asking you to know the 5th verse, the last verse. Just learn these 4 first verses. Huh? Okay, can you do that? Can you do it?
1 week, so for 3.
No, I'm saying 1 week, that you will do it every day. You will repeat again and again these 5 verses. And you'll study the meaning of each word of each of the 5 verses, and you'll be able to explain the meaning of the verse. Can you do that in 1 week? Today is Tuesday. Next Tuesday, you will be tested. And I'm bringing my stick with me this time. And if you don't, You will get hit on your head very severely.
So maybe better
Don't what?
don't learn.
Don't what?
Don't learn.
All right, so, okay. Now we'll start our class on Sri Manah-siksa, but also yesterday actually, was the disappearance day of Srila Srivas Thakur. And I'll tell a few words after I say my Mangala Charana. And also today, Srila Bharati Goswami Maharaj, Bhakti Vigyan Bharati, he has given quite a lengthy katha from his book, My Beloved Masters. And the person to whom he's glorifying is his appearance day today. His name was Sri Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacārī. And he was a disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who was very intimate associate of Srila Bhakti Doyata Madhav Maharaj. Bhakti Doyata Madhav Maharaj, the guru of Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj, the guru of Bhakti Balabhatirtha Maharaj. So he was very dear associate, godbrother of Bhakti Doyata Madhav Maharaj. And he stayed for his whole life in his mat, in his service. After the Gaudiya mat split, then he stayed in the service under the guidance. But he was an extraordinary personality. We won't have time to hear on this day, but you should read this. You should subscribe to the what's it called? Chaitanya Vani. Vishuddha Chaitanya Vani. And then they can load it into your Gmail account. And you can read that. Whenever these appearance days come and disappearance days, Srila Bharati Maharaj always has some katha about them. So Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacārī, he was quite an extraordinary person. I'll tell a little bit after my Mangala Charana. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurun Dinataranam Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahabhadanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaura Trise Namah Nityanandam Namastubhyam Premananda Pradayane Kalo Kalamashanashaya Janava Pataye Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavachai Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. You can sit here on the foam, much better. Yeah. So first of all, I'm offering my unlimited Dandavat Pranams and my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most worshipable beloved Gurudev, Nitya Leela Pravishta, Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa, Ashtotarasata Sri Srila, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. And then I'm offering my same unlimited Dandavat Pranams and my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most worshipable beloved Siksha Gurudevs, Nitya Leela Pravishta, Om Vishnu Pad, Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Statarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, and Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Ashtotarasata Sri Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And my Dandavat Pranams to the lotus feet of all of my Sri Sri Rupanuga Guru Varga, especially to Srila Raghunath Das Goswami Pad, our Prayojan Tattva Acharya, who is the author of Sri Manah-siksa. And also to Srila Sachidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur, the commentator on Sri Manah-siksa. And my Dandavat Pranams to all the Vaishnavas and to all of the Vaishnavis. Srila Bharati Maharaj just told one pastime of Srivas Thakur in his Katha. So I'm just telling that one pastime. When Mahaprabhu was performing Kirtan in the house of Srivas Thakur, which he did for 1 year straight, every single night, all through the night he performed Kirtan. There are many, many pastimes that took place. But toward the end of Mahaprabhu's Navadvip Leela, when he began to contemplate leaving and taking sannyas. So in the midst of this kirtan one evening in Srivas Thakur's house, so Srivas Thakur's son happened to die. He left his body during the kirtan of Mahaprabhu in a faraway room. And all the ladies of the family household were there, and they were weeping and lamenting and crying. So Srivas Thakur, someone came and notified him that your son has died. Srivas Thakur went there where his son was lying, his son's body. And he chastised the ladies that don't cry loudly. You're disturbing Mahaprabhu's kirtan. So just don't cry loudly. Then he came back to the kirtan and joined the kirtan. But of course, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Lord in the heart of every living entity, so he could understand that this had taken place. And so he, in his kirtan, he stopped the kirtan and he says, today I am not feeling the same happiness in the kirtan. Some incident must have taken place because I am not able to enter. So then he asked Srivas Thakur, has anything happened? And he says, yes, my lord. Yes, my son has left his body. And but I've told the ladies not to disturb your kirtan. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, tears came to his eyes. He said, how can I ever leave such a personality who, on my behalf, he doesn't even allow that the death of his son, that he has so much love for me that he cannot allow even the death of his son to disturb my kirtan. So then Mahaprabhu came, took all the devotees to the bedside of Srivas Thakur's son. It never says the name of the son. I've never heard that. So, and when he brought everyone to the bedside, Then Mahaprabhu touched the body of the boy and he said, why have you left? He asked that question. Why have you left? And suddenly the boy began speaking. Yes. And he said, "Oh my Lord, I have taken birth by very great good fortune in this family. And I was given the opportunity during this period of my life to be exposed and to hear and to see your beautiful form and to hear your kirtan. And by providence, by fate, now it is my time to leave this body, and now I'm going elsewhere." So when our Gurudev used to tell that pastime, he tells it a little bit differently than Srila Bharati Maharaj. But he says that what happened to that boy? Where was he then going to go? Because Gurudev said that the boy said, "Now I'm going to even a better place." So Gurudev said, "So what possible place can be better?" And then he said, the Nitya Leela pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Nitya Navadvip Dham in Goloka Vrindavan, and the pastimes of Radha Govinda in Nitya Brajadam in Goloka Vrindavan. I am now going there. So, in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was contemplating that how can I take sannyas? These devotees, they have so much love and affection for me. But still, nothing could stop the progressive march of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's descent to this world. So this was required, and at the age of 24, then Mahaprabhu began to tell some of his associates that I am leaving to take sannyas, and he told 3 personalities they should come with him when he leaves his house on that day. So in this way the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu unfolded. But for the first 24 years, his Navadvip pastime, Srivas Thakur had so many leelas with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then every year, Srivas Thakur and the Navadvip Vasis and so many other of Mahaprabhu's associates, they all came marching on their lotus feet all the way from Bengal to Jagannath Puri at the time of the Rath Yatra festival. And they arrived usually around the time of the Snana Yatra. So now the Navadvip Vasis have already arrived in Jagannath Puri for Mahaprabhu's pastimes. So this personality, Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacārī, I'll just read what Srila Bharati Maharaj told. But it's very, very long. It's very long. He had such a relationship with Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacārī. So, Śrīpāda Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacārī told me the following story about how he came to reside in Sridham Mayapur, and how his father, Sri Deepa Ram Das Gau Buddha, he tried to bring him back home. And here's what he told. He said, when I was about 11 years old, and I was in the 7th grade, then I went with a group of people from my village to have darshan of Sri Navadvip Dham. Now during our visit, I met Srila Prabhupada. I was so enamored with him that I refused to return home. So instead, I decided to stay in Mayapur and join the mutt. And despite my young age, Srila Prabhupada granted me Harinam and Mantra Diksha. So I was my father's youngest child, and I was his 10th child. So when the word reached my village that I had stayed behind in Mayapur, my father immediately departed for the Dham to retrieve me. At the time, Sri Navadvip Dham Parikrama was underway, with thousands of pilgrims in attendance. And when the in charge of Sri Chaitanya Mat, when he was informed that my father had arrived, he treated him very respectfully, and he arranged a place for him to stay in the Mat. Now, while at the Mat, my father received darshan of Srila Prabhupada. He was amazed by the behavior and the bold harikatha of the sannyasis and the brahmacharis. And he was especially impressed by the fact that such erudite individuals born of elite families, born of elite families, he was surprised that they were firmly established in the principle of offering respect to others while expecting none in return. And he told me, I would never have imagined, this is his father telling him, I would never have imagined that a place like this exists, where everyone discusses only matters of the spiritual world, and they never those of this material world, where no one harbors a desire for mundane indulgence, but rather cultivates the desire to serve. Where people have renounced material pleasures to live according to a simple yet elevated philosophy. And also, I would never have imagined that a place like this exists where the mysterious truths of the soul are revealed one after another. His heart swelled with gratitude. He said, Keśava, my son, you have blessed me by showing me this place. So what to speak of accepting it? I had never even heard that this human form of life is meant for worshipping Bhagavan. Now that I have come to know this in my old age, I will perform bhajan for the remainder of my life. And I too will take shelter of your Gurudev's lotus feet, and when he will mercifully agree to it, I shall accept mantra diksha from him. So please convey my intentions to him. So then I told him, Srila Bharati Maharaj, then I told him, but you eat meat and fish, and you smoke tobacco. No, this is his son telling him. Sorry. You eat meat and fish, and you smoke tobacco. So beyond giving up these, one must give up even onions and garlic before accepting Diksha and Harinam. And he answered, I will give them up this very instant, he replied. These are small things to leave aside for the sake of something so exalted. And then I asked, are you sure? It will be a grave offense if you accept mantra diksha simply out of excitement, and then again you consume these things because of habit. And then my father assured me, I fully comprehend the gravity of making a vow to an exalted personality. Trust me when I say I am of sound mind and that I am not being emotional. I have thought this over very carefully. So while I was waiting for the right time to supplicate at Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet on behalf of my father, and I wanted to explain my father's background and to attest to his state of mind, then my father, he saw a group of devotees who had shaven their heads and were waiting to receive mantra diksha. He immediately went to have his head shaved, after which he sat down with the prospective initiates. So when a servant informed Srila Prabhupada of the situation, then Srila Prabhupada said, this is very important instruction Srila Prabhupada gave. He said, determination, to be determined, it is the most important attribute needed for receiving diksha. I will certainly grant him his wish. And so it happened that Srila Prabhupada gave my father mantra diksha that very day. And when my father left Sridham Mayapur, he told me, Keśava, although I came to bring you back, the opposite has happened. I have offered myself here. My body may go, but I will forever remain here by heart. Then amazingly, from that day forward, my father never consumed any of those forbidden substances, and instead he spent the rest of his life chanting Harinam, chanting his Diksha mantras, chanting various prayers and hymns, and engaging himself in activities favorable to bhakti. So the streak of determination that his father embodied, it was visible in Sri Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacāri's life as well. So immediately after Śrīpāda Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacāri received Harinam and Diksha from Srila Prabhupada, how old was he? 11 years old. Then he began performing various services in the mutt. He was particularly avid in assisting Srila Prabhupada's cook by cutting and preparing vegetables, shopping for ingredients, scrubbing pots, and cleaning the kitchen. So once, while Srila Prabhupada and his preaching party, which included his cook, were en route from Mumbai to Kolkata, then his cook became worried that he would be unable to punctually provide Srila Prabhupada with prasadam upon their arrival. So when Srila Prabhupada and his entourage reached the mutt, Śrīpāda Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacāri had his meal cooked and ready to be served. And when the cook saw all the items Śrīpāda Kṛṣṇa-keśava Prabhu had prepared, he was surprised beyond belief. They were nearly identical to those that he usually prepared. And after Srila Prabhupada honored prasad, then his cook told him that Śrīpāda Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacāri had prepared his meal that day. And Prabhupada said, really? Srila Prabhupada asked, I could not tell the difference. Did you teach him how to cook? And then the servant replied, no, I never taught him to cook, but he does help me in the kitchen whenever he is around. Then Srila Prabhupada summoned Śrīpāda Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacāri and asked him, from where did you learn to cook? And then he said, by carefully watching Prabhu cook every day, he replied. Srila Prabhupada said, you are sure to be successful in whatever you dedicate your full attention to or whatever you wish to learn. You are sure to be successful. You should go on like this, learning the key principles of bhajan. And by this, you will surely obtain auspiciousness. So after this incident, Śrīpāda Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacāri would cook for Srila Prabhupada from time to time. And he would lovingly bestow Srila Prabhupada's remnants to whoever would ask for them. And he used to say that Srila Prabhupada always ate very little. He said, I noticed whenever I served him his meals, there always seemed to be the same amount left on his plate as I had brought him. So, now when the excessive disturbance that followed Srila Prabhupada's disappearance when it caused the Gaudiya Math mission to split into two factions, then Guru Maharaj took possession of Sri Chaitanya Math on behalf of Shri Kunja Bihari Vidyabhushan Prabhu. So that means Bhakti Dayita Madhav Maharaj. He took possession of Sri Chaitanya Math. Then many of his godbrothers, they insistently requested him to take sannyas and to start accepting disciples, but he deferred their numerous pleas. And it was largely Śrīpāda Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacārī who influenced Guru Maharaj to finally agree to his godbrother's proposal. He told, Srila Prabhupada has left behind such a massive mission. And he told Guru Maharaj that how will its services continue on properly if a qualified person like you refuses to accept disciples? If you begin awarding initiations, I will accept the responsibility of bringing prospective disciples to you. So, having received his dear godbrother's support, Guru Maharaj agreed to accept disciples. And sometime later, Śrīpāda Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacārī, he took Guru Maharaj to Assam, where, by his tireless efforts, Guru Maharaj's preaching met with great success. And being attracted and inspired by Śrīpāda Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacāri's explanations of Srila Prabhupada's immaculate teachings, many people, that's how he was a preacher, Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacārī. And they were so attracted by his explanations of Srila Prabhupada's immaculate teachings, so many people took shelter of Guru Maharaj's lotus feet. A good many of those new devotees became renounced and they joined the Math, and later on Guru Maharaj even awarded some of them sannyas. So Guru Maharaj regarded Sri Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacārī as his right-hand man, and he had particular affection for him. So the devotees who have taken shelter of Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math, they shall forever remain indebted to Sri Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacārī. So I'll just read one more. One more, which made an impact on me. All right. So this will be the final anecdote that I will tell. Now, once Śrīpāda Kṛṣṇa-keśava Prabhu and his senior sannyasi godbrothers, they were preaching at a university where the highly intellectual professors and the students of that university, they had assembled to hear about the philosophy of the Gaudiya Math. Yet, each time that the sannyasis delivered their speeches, several professors and students, they would insist, said, "You are reiterating ancient ideas. We have heard these concepts many times before." Although the various sannyasis, they tried to help them understand the speciality of the Gaudiya Math, the objectors maintained their philosophy was simply old wine in a new bottle, that's all. Now finally, Śrīpāda Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacārī asked Guru Maharaj for a chance to speak. So when Guru Maharaj consented, then Śrīpāda Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacārī stood up and he said to the crowd of professors and intellectual students and all that, he said to them, "I am not an intellectual like you learned academics. I concluded my efforts to accrue worldly knowledge when I came to the Gaudiya Math in the 7th grade. Today, I will speak a few points before you all based on what I have learned from my spiritual teachers. And although my presentation may contain errors, you will be able to infer the essence if you listen patiently. So that's his introduction. Now he said, you yourselves have readily admitted that you have already heard, understood, and memorized well the views that my godbrothers discussed before you here today. You have asked us many questions in response, but I request you to please ask yourselves this one question. Do I live my life according to these teachings? Now, if the answer is yes, then very well. Otherwise, your knowledge of those teachings will be of no true benefit. Merely memorizing them will do you no lasting good. Although your education allows you to read, to understand, and to memorize a doctor's prescription, right? But your illness will not be cured unless you follow the prescription's instructions to take a particular medicine. Well, on the other hand, an illiterate person will be cured. If he, after taking that prescription to a qualified, educated person who can explain its contents, he consumes the medicine prescribed therein. But that illiterate person will be cured because he came to a qualified, literate person who read the label and told him how to take it, and now he's taken it and he's cured. So then he said, this is the speciality of the Gaudiya Math. We practice what we preach, and what we preach is uttore bai, arto somai nai. This means get up, brother. There is no time left. So the professors, they unanimously conceded. And they said, oh, you have spoken the truth, they said. So the trouble with society nowadays is that despite having vast knowledge, people seldom follow any of what they know. So now, once Śrīpāda Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacārī and an entourage of devotees, they accompanied Guru Maharaj on a preaching mission to Guwahati, Assam. Now, being Assamese, Śrīpāda Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacārī and my godbrother Sri Chintaharana Patagiri Prabhu, they both knew the local language. So as per the instruction of Guru Maharaj, the two, they met with the Desha Priya, Sri Gopinath Bordoloi, who was then the chief minister of Assam, and who was an object of affection for the country's citizens. And they met with him to invite him to hear Bhagavad Katha at Guru Maharaj's program. So at the meeting with this gentleman, Sri Bordoloi first asked them to introduce themselves, and to introduce their organization, and to introduce the reason for their visit. So after their introduction, then he asked, you are both Assamese. Why have you not accepted the principles of Sri Bhagavad Dharma as preached in Assam by Sri Shankar Dev, by Sri Damodar Dev, and other renowned Assamese bhaktas? Why have you instead accepted the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Dev, a Bengali? So now, Śrīpāda Chintaharana Prabhu requested Śrīpāda Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacārī to kindly answer Sri Bordoloi, and Śrīpāda Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacārī obliged him, and he said, respected Mr. Bordoloi, if I may, I would like to preface my reply to your question with a brief question of my own. Yes. So, you too, you also are Assamese. And you belong to a Brahmin family. So why then did you consider it appropriate to attend Oxford University in England, to accept Englishmen as your teachers, your gurus, and follow their teachings when they use paper to clean themselves after passing stool instead of following the proper practice of using water? What more should I speak about their lack of etiquette? Sri Navadvip Dham has long been famous as the Oxford of India, and the scholars from even Assam have regularly gone there for higher education. We therefore fail to understand the inherent fault in our following Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Gopinath Bordoloi was rendered speechless. Śrīpāda Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacārī and Śrīpāda Chintaharana Patagiri Prabhu, they left his office and they returned to Guru Maharaj. And guess what? When they arrived back at Guru Maharaj's quarters, they were greatly surprised to see Sri Bordoloi sitting next to Guru Maharaj. Then they realized that he had come by car while they traveled by rickshaw. So this pastime illustrates the convincing effect that Śrīpāda Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacāri's simple explanations had on not only Sri Gopinath Bordoloi, but many people around the whole world. So in this way, it's a long katha, and I came to realize that this personality, he's an acharya. He never took sannyas. He always wanted to stay in a subordinate position to his godbrother. And there's a whole section where he's describing to Srila Madhav Maharaj how this is so relished by him. He never ever wants to be the object of so much veneration and all of that. And he's very happy to just be a tiny little assistant. He said many more things in that regard. So at the end of Sri Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacāri's life, because I heard of his name many years ago, and he was still living in the Chaitanya Gaudiya Mutt till his old age, and I think he left his body there. So I'm just going to read this very short little part. Preparing for his disappearance pastime. Now, in the year leading up to his disappearance, Śrīpāda Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacāri, he would continually cry out the following verse at the top of his voice. Do you know what that verse was? Do you know? Yeah. So, this is a verse that Gurudev highlighted one time in the Bay Area program of his Harikatha. And he called on a couple of devotees, do you know this verse? Stand and speak and explain it. And they didn't know. So then he said, come tomorrow and then I will give you a chance. In the meantime, you should study. Like that. One of them was our Srila Das Brahmacari, our godbrother. So, this verse, Gurudev very much emphasized this verse, and it is a very major shloka from the Shastras. Where is it from? It's from Śrīmad Bhagavatam 11th canto, 9th chapter, 29th verse, spoken by Krishna to Uddhava. So what is the verse? Labdva sudurlabhamidam bahusambhavante manusyamartadam nityamapi hadiram turnam yatetanapatim anumrityu yavat nikṣreyasaya vishaya kalu sarvatasyat. So this verse means that Labdva sudurlabham idam bahusambhavante. We have attained this very rare human life after countless births. And though it is temporary, but it affords one the purpose in this world. It affords one purpose in this world. This temporary human birth affords one purpose. Yes. Therefore, as long as he has not dropped dead, a wise person must swiftly strive to attain ultimate liberation, because the pleasures that are available in this world to the human beings, they're available everywhere in every single form of life. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. So that's one verse that Kṛṣṇa-keśava Prabhu used to call out very loudly. Continually he would cry out this verse at the top of his voice. Then the next verse. Krishna tvadiya padapankaja panjarantam adyaiva vishatume manasarajahangsa prana prayana samaye kapavata pittai kantavaro vidau smaranam kutaste. This is from Mukundamala Stotra, and this is written by Sri Jamunacharya. So this song our Srila Prabhupada used to sing and quote. So what is he telling? He's calling out, O Krishna, may the royal swan that is my mind, the swan of my mind, may this swan submerge itself this very moment at the stems of your lotus flower-like feet. May it be now, immediately, right now, that my mind should take shelter of the stem of your lotus feet, the swan of my mind. And then he says, how else will I be able to remember you during my last breath, when my throat is constricted by air, by bile, and by phlegm? You understand the meaning? Can you tell, Maharaj?
Mucus at a later point in life become very prominent in one's body. And especially at the time of death, once so you feel mucus in one day, it's possible to be free from the conception of bodily existence. Fix one's mind on a lotus state.
But what is he praying for in the first half of the verse?
He's praying that his mind, he wants his mind to be cut up in the network of the stems of the lotuses, and caught up in
the lotus feet of Krishna. Yeah, like a swan, the swan of my mind will wind itself around the stem of the lotus flower. I want my mind to also be like that, the swan of my mind, to wind itself around the stem of your lotus feet. And what is he saying? He's saying, Adyaiva vishatu me manasarajahangsa. He's saying, may my mind immediately, right now, while I'm in this condition, I'm not in my final stages where there is going to be mucus and phlegm in my throat and so forth. But now I'm in this condition, so now I want that my mind will take shelter at your lotus feet, and I will give up my body right now in this condition. Because if I don't, then what will happen at the time of death? So he's actually praying that take me now, so that when I can absorb my mind in your lotus feet. So Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacārī, he would say loudly at the top of his voice these two shlokas. And then here's the description that his life, Śrīpāda Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacārī, this is the end of it, he led such a simple life. He led such a modest life that the only items that he left behind after his disappearance were a few books, 2 sets of clothes, and a trivial amount of money, all of which were kept in one small box, the only box that he owned. And although he never externally accepted the role of Acharya, nor did he give mantra diksha, but he abided by the following words of the scriptures, and therefore he fortified many devotees to do the same. So, what is that verse? It's from the Vayu Purana. Achanoti ya shastrartam achare stapayat yapi svayam acharati yasmad acharyastena kirtita. So here's the meaning of this verse. A person who grasps the import of the scriptures, and through his words and through his conduct, he establishes others in such standards, that person gains renown as an acharya. That is stated in the Vayu Purana. Acharyas tena kirtita. Whether he is officially an acharya or not, when he grasps the import of the siddhanta, of the scriptures, and then through his behavior and through his words, he establishes others in such standards, that person gains renown as an acharya. So although he never accumulated anything for himself, he never lacked anything in his service. So when he disappeared from this world on the day of Yogini Ekadasi, today, many devotees gave me donations to organize his Viraha Mahotsav. And just as it had satisfied him so much to feed Jagannath Dev's prasad to the Matvasis and to the Pandas in the past, so I invited all Gaudiya Mat devotees in Sri Jagannath Puri and numerous Pandas on the day of his Viraha Mahotsav, and I distributed Jagannath Prasad to them. Gaur Premanandi. Shri Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacārī Prabhu Ki Jai. Yeah, actually he disappeared there in Jagannath Puri, in the temple on the Grand Road. And that's where I remember hearing from some devotees, you know that there's a very senior disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Shri Kṛṣṇa-keśava Brahmacārī. And I just vaguely remember that I said, well, where is he? And then they kind of led me to a room, and he was lying in his bed. It was very close to the time of his departure. And so I just saw from a distance. There were a few devotees there, and I paid my obeisances. But, now I'm learning who he is, what he contributed, what his amazing qualities were. So Jai Jai Shri Radhe. So now for not very long time, just for about 20-25 minutes, I'm going to continue reading the purport of the 3rd verse of the Manah-siksa. So just to recap a little bit, first we'll tell the shloka. Yadicchera vasam vrajabhuvi saragam pratijanur. Yadicchera vasam vrajabhuvi saragam pratijanur. Yuvadvandvam tachchet paricharitum arad abilase. Yuva dvandvam tachchet paricharitum arad abhilase. Swarupam Shri Rupam Saganam Iha Tasya Grajamapi. Swarupam Shri Rupam Saganam Iha Tasya Grajamapi. Sputam Premna Nityam Smaranamatadattvam Shrinumana. Sputam Premna Nityam Smaranamatadattvam Shrinumana. Translation. My dear mind, please hear me. If you are eager to gain residence in Braja on the platform of Ragatmika Bhakti, and if you desire to obtain the direct service of the eternally youthful divine couple, Sri Radha Krishna, then, birth after birth, always distinctly remember and bow down with great love to Sri Swarup Damodar Goswami, to Sri Rupa Goswami, and his elder brother Sri Sanatan Goswami, and all other associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who are the recipients of his mercy. So, just prior to the place where we left off, we were reading the verses. There are actually 5 verses that are quoted by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur from Sri Ujjvala Nilamani of Srila Rupa Goswami. And in these verses, he's describing what is rati. What is this thing called rati? So, I'm not going to chant the verses. Here's the translation of those verses. And at the end of this translation, then we began. We left off there. So here's the translation. Samartha Rati gradually matures, and it becomes transformed into what? Mahabhav. Samartha Rati gradually matures, and it becomes transformed into Mahabhav. Therefore, liberated souls and the topmost devotees, they strive to attain this rati. Now, rati gradually intensifies into prem, which is known by different names in accordance with the distinctive character of each successive stage. It is thus identified as prem, sneha, man, pranay, rag, anurag, and bhav. Those 8. Now this development of prem through those 8 stages, it is compared to the transformation of sugarcane seeds into sugarcane plants. So, have you ever seen a sugarcane seed? I haven't. We never see the sugarcane seeds, but do we see the sugarcane plant? Oh yes. Oh yes, especially those who love sugarcane juice. Because the only way you're going to get fresh sugarcane juice is if you go to the place where the plants are being squeezed from a juicing machine, right? So, now, the example is being used by Rupa Goswami, that this gradual development, these 8 stages of prem, is being compared to, first of all, the sugarcane seeds, then the sugarcane plants, then sugarcane juice, then molasses, then crude sugar, You know what crude sugar is called? Yes, gur. But we never see molasses. But we see gur. Have you seen molasses? No, I mean like here. And no, I don't see them selling molasses. I think they turn it all into gur. So crude sugar, 5th stage. Then comes refined sugar. What is refined sugar here in India? I think it's chini. I think what you buy in the marketplace is kind of like a little bit big. That's refined sugar. And then there's 2 more, because there's 8 stages, right? So then after refined sugar comes sugar candy. Now, I don't exactly know what sugar candy is, because the last stage is called rock candy. And we've all seen rock candy, right? It's very clear, almost like transparent. I think so. But sugar candy, the stage in between refined sugar and rock candy, not quite sure exactly what that is. Anyway, I think it must be a stage where it starts hardening into, a candy kind of, but it's not fully rock candy yet, okay? And do you know what rock candy is used for? Yep. Rock candy, good old rock candy, is what do you do with that rock candy when you have jaundice? No, Maharaj. You don't eat it. Are you kidding? Don't you know the verse where Rupa Goswami is describing about how to cure the jaundice of the tongue with rock candy? Anyway, it's there. It's described there. You have to soak it in water. Never heard that. That means you never had jaundice. No, I did. And I saw many others who did. That's why I know. You have to soak it in water, and what happens to it? It turns into syrup. Right? By soaking it in water, it turns into a syrupy drink. And then the person who has jaundice, do you know what jaundice is? Do you know what jaundice is?
Hepatitis.
Yeah, I'm trying to know that. Do you know what jaundice is? No. We're reading about it, but you don't. Yeah. Jaundice is a disease of the what? The liver. And the liver has become toxic because of consuming the wrong things. And so this disease called jaundice starts to infest your whole body. And the color of your skin turns yellowish. The color of your eyes, also around the whites of your eyes, they turn a little bit yellowish.
Hepatitis.
Yeah, well, okay, hepatitis. I think that's another version of it, right? Like a later stage of it or whatever. Anyway, hepatitis. So, when a person is in that condition, then they're lying down and they can barely do anything at all. And so what is prescribed here by the Ayurveda, by the Indian doctors, they know that the cure for jaundice is this solution of rock candy syrup, which has been soaked in water. But when a person first begins drinking that rock candy syrup, how does it taste to that person?
Bitter.
Yes. What's the word for bitter?
Горький.
Goiki. Goiki. Очень goiki. But actually it's what? Sladki. It's not goiki, it's sladki. It's sweet. But it tastes to him as if it's bitter. Why? Because he has jaundice. And his tongue is not able to taste sweetness. But guess what? That solution is the cure for this disease. And even though it tastes bitter at first, when the person begins to forcefully drink that solution, then gradually the taste of bitterness disappears and his tongue again comes to its normal position of being able to taste sweetness. So his disease of jaundice is cured. Yes. So, now, with this example of these 8 different stages of sugarcane, so in this analogy, rati is compared to the sugarcane seeds. This is the beginning, rati. That means bhav, stage of bhav and coming into prem. That is compared to the seed. Yes. Because why? Because this is actually the seed of prem. Now prem is compared to the sugarcane plant. Then just as all 6 stages from sugarcane juice to rock candy, they are all transformations of sugarcane only, then all 6 stages from sneha to bhav are the distinctive transformations of prem. This is all explained by Rupa Goswami. So therefore, learned authorities in the scriptures, they only use the word prem in a general sense to refer to all 6 stages. Interesting, huh? They're using the word prem to refer to all 6 stages. And it should be noted here that the particular type of prem that Krishna has for the naikas, that is the heroines, who are possessed of samartha rati, is exactly in accordance with the type of prem that arises in their hearts. So Krishna has exactly the same prem for the gopis as what they have in their hearts for him. So now Bhaktivinoda Thakur is concluding his purport. He says, if someone reflects, they think about, in a very unbiased and a very thoughtful manner, then it must be concluded that the prem that is related to the Shringar Ras of Vraja, that it is not found in any other sampradayas. If it at all exists, at all, in any other sampradaya, it is only to a very, very limited extent. Shringar Ras of Vraj. So therefore Sri Das Goswami has instructed the sadhak who is desirous of attaining Braj Bhav that they should accept Sri Swarup Damodar, they should accept Sri Rupa, Sri Sanatan and the other Goswamis who are recipients of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. They should accept as their instructing spiritual masters. And the final point that Bhaktivinoda Thakur is making is the explanation of the word pratijanu. So he uses that term in the verse, that pratijanu. It means life after life. So here he just gives 2 sentences to explain this. He says that ragatmika bhakti, which possesses the characteristics of prema, that ragatmika bhakti, it is perfected only after many lifetimes. Ragatmika bhakti, which possesses the characteristics of prem, it is perfected only after many lifetimes. So if, however, one receives the mercy of Bhagavan or receives the mercy of Bhagavan's devotees, then it may be perfected quickly. Jai! Which one do we want? Do we want after many lifetimes? No. We want to get the mercy of Bhagavan and the mercy of his pure devotees. And then it's possible that quickly this can be perfected. Quickly means 1, 2, 3 lifetimes. So Gurudev is commenting now, and Gurudev is saying that those who want to perform bhajan, especially under the guidance of our Goswamis, those persons who want to do this, so they are instructed in the first verse that what should they do? They should develop unprecedented spiritual attachment, apurva rati. And who should they develop this for? For the spiritual master, for the holy land of Braja, for the residents of Braja, for the Vaishnavas, the Brahmanas, for their mantras given at initiation, and for the holy name. So Gurudev is repeating in what was there in the first verse, that apurva rati means unprecedented spiritual attachment. That he is praying to his mind, Raghunath Das Goswami, develop this unprecedented spiritual attachment, apurva rati. Develop this for all of these personalities. So now Gurudev says that this lobha mayi bhakti, that's what we've been talking about. It's called lobha mayi bhakti. It means devotion that is full of lobha. That your bhakti is full of greed, lobha. Lobha mayi bhakti. So this is the nature of lobha mayi bhakti, that it's devotion full of greed. So apurva rati, which we're hearing, unprecedented rati, apurva rati begins from when? When does this rati begin? When does it start to take shape? It begins from the initial stage of faith, Shraddha. And then what does it gradually develop and become more elevated, more elevated? Where does it go? It goes up to the stage of bhav, from Shraddha. So that means that this apurva rati actually begins there, in the beginning stage. So then Gurudev says, this is not ordinary bhakti. No, it's not usual, ordinary bhakti. In the second verse, then Gurudev is saying that Raghunath Das Goswami has given instruction to live in Braja and to perform prachur seva. Prachur means abundant, very abundant seva, service to the Brajvasis. That's the instruction, is to live in Braj and perform prachur seva to the Brajvasis. And then the instruction is also there to abandon adharma and even dharma as enjoined in the scriptures. And now you should perform bhajan. Now you should do bhajan by living in Braj. So in this verse, in the third verse, it is said, the words, Yad itcher avasam. Yad itcher avasam. This means, you know the word itcha? What does itcha mean? It means desire, itcha. So, he's saying, Yaditcharavasam, if you have the desire to perform bhajan life after life, with intense anurag for the lotus feet of Shri Shri Radha Krishna, then the most effective method is this. Shri Swarupam, Shri Rupam, Saganam, Iha Tasyagrajam Api. That you should weep and call out to Swarup Damodar, to Ramananda Roy, to Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, along with their associates. You should weep and call out to them. They are eternal associates of the treasurer of Prem. And who is the treasurer of Prem? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So you must always offer obeisances to them every day. O mind, I hold your feet and I pray to you to do the same. So this word, pratijanu, it means life after life. It means many lives. So then this brings up the following question. That by worshipping the Supreme Lord, if somebody is going to worship Krishna, then they also understand that by worshipping the Supreme Lord, the cycle of birth and death will stop. You'll no longer take birth, and you'll no longer die in the material world. So then the question comes, so if that's the case, then don't the devotees of Bhagavan, don't they try to stop this transmigration of birth after birth? Don't the devotees try to stop that? So Gurudev is saying that most people, they say that by performing bhajan, we shall be liberated from birth and death. Most Hindus and people like that, they say like that. By doing bhajan to Bhagavan, we will be liberated from birth and death. But bhakti is of three kinds. Sadhan bhakti, bhav bhakti, and prem bhakti. And bhakti is full of nectar. Bhakti is full of nectar even from the very beginning of one's bhajan. I don't know about you, but when I first came to the temple, and I was in the association of devotees, hearing, chanting, going for street sankirtan, everything, it was very different than anything else I had ever experienced. There was a happiness. There was such an internal satisfaction that I'd never experienced before. So Gurudev is saying here that even from the beginning of one's bhajan, this bhakti is full of nectar. So therefore the devotees, they actually do not really want to stop the cycle of birth and death until when? They're not against stopping the cycle of birth and death, but they don't really want to stop it until what? Until their bhakti reaches its final perfection of full maturity. So until that time, they are prepared to take thousands of births, live in Braja, and try to perform bhajan with love and devotion. And neither does the devotee want to merge in Brahman, nor does the devotee accept any other type of liberation. He wants to take birth in Braj, and he wants to attain the association of Rasika Vaishnavas. So thus, his faith, it reaches the stage of bhav, and that bhav matures into prem. So until a devotee attains this paragon of perfection in his bhakti, he does not mind taking birth again and again. Now Gurudev is telling that if you have a rose plant, that plant has begun in the form of a bud. The plant comes up and then a bud comes on the branch of a plant. What is it the bud of? It's the bud of a rose, or it's the bud of a lotus. But it will not bloom into a flower if it is plucked as a bud. It stopped. The bud does not have fragrance. The bud does not have beauty and nectar. All these characteristics come only when the bud blooms into a flower. So at that time, the bumblebee starts to visit the flower. What time? At what time does the bumblebee start to visit the flower? When the bud has bloomed into a flower. Then the bumblebee starts to visit the flower. And similarly, a devotee does not mind taking several births to perfect his bhakti until he attains that prem bhakti which can control Krishna. And that prem bhakti which provides the eligibility to receive the direct darshan of Krishna. This bhakti is full of nectar, and a devotee derives tremendous bliss by absorbing his mind in bhakti rasa. It gives pleasure to Krishna, and therefore subsequently a devotee also feels that pleasure. So the paths of fruitive activity, that means karma and impersonal knowledge, gyan, and even mystic yoga, those paths are very difficult. They're very difficult paths. Karma, gyan, yoga. But bhajan is full of bliss. Therefore the devotees of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, they do not want to stop the cycle of birth and death until they attain perfection. So, with those words of Srila Gurudev, we'll complete our class here today. And in our next class, because actually there's only 3 more paragraphs, but we'll do that in our next class. And our next class question is this now. We're looking at the Vaishnava calendar. Looking at the Vaishnav calendar. This week is a power-packed week on the Vaishnava calendar. Today is already Ekadasi, Tuesday. So, and by the way, just for your information, you must break the Ekadasi, you must do Paran before 7:02 a.m. tomorrow morning. What? No, that's not what it says. It says until 7:02 a.m. The Paran can be done after the sunrise until 7:02 a.m. Okay? So there's approximately like, what is it? Like 2 hours.
After 8 a.m.
No!
Here.
No, not 8 a.m. I just said 7:02 a.m. 7:02. 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock in the morning, a.m. Yes. After that, you cannot break the Paran anymore. You have to break it before 7:02. Okay, good. So now I want to discuss with the devotees, with all of you, what should we do, because today is the 2nd, tomorrow is Wednesday the 3rd. Usually we have a class on Thursday, which will be the 4th. But the days following the 4th, Thursday, listen to this. The Friday on the 5th is the disappearance days of both Gadadhar Pandit and also Sri Sachidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Very deep, important days. The kata for their days. Now that's on Friday. On Thursday there's nothing on the calendar, but that is on Friday. And then the 6th and the 7th, the 6th on Saturday is the Gundicha Marjanam, the cleansing of the Gundicha temple. Okay? And the day after that is what? It's the big day. It's the Ratha Yatra day of Lord Jagannath. And also the disappearance day of Sri Swarup Damodar Goswami and Shivananda Sain. So then the week after that, there's not that much. But this week, starting from basically from Friday until Sunday, there's so much. So, and in addition to what we see on our calendar here, there is also the events that are taking place in Mayapur. And the event that is taking place in Mayapur is the 3-day festival that is being performed by the Chaitanya Gaudiya Math in Mayapur. And what is being done is that they are now going to inaugurate that big, huge samadhi that they've been building for the last couple of years, shaped like a lotus flower. And they've also, there are photos, they're also surrounding that. They've prepared like a garden area with grass and flowers and everything surrounding. So it's completely finished in every single detail. And they're going to have a grand festival for 3 days to observe the installation of the murtis. Because Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhav Maharaj never had a murti in that samadhi, although his samadhi has been there since 1980-ish. Yeah, around 1980, I think. His samadhi has been there, but there's no murti in the samadhi. And after the disappearance of his successor Acharya, whom he appointed, Srila Bhakti Balabhatirtha Goswami Maharaj, so his disappearance also occurred in the 2010s. I don't remember exactly which year. Oh, yeah, he disappeared after wait, it might have been 2015, 2016, something like that. Okay? So, but from the time that they were planning to rebuild the samadhi, they must have decided this many years ago, that they were going to have a dual samadhi. And they would have 2 separate samadhi peeths inside of this big, huge samadhi. So what they're going to be doing is they're going to be installing murtis of these 2 acharyas in each of their samadhis. And that's a big event. There are going to be hundreds, thousands of devotees coming for this event. Sajjan Maharaj had sent me the invitation. I'm just going to refer to that on WhatsApp. Where is it? Oh, somehow maybe I'm skipping.
Who's the third murti? The third murti.
What is the what?
The third murti.
Third what?
Murti.
Murti?
Yes.
I didn't say 3 murtis. No, only 2.
Sorry.
Yeah. Let's see. You sent it to me. I saw it this morning. So where is it? Okay, here it is. I found it. So this is the program details. So on the 5th of July, which is Friday, they're going to have, in the afternoon from 3 p.m., they're going to have a huge Maha Nagar Sankirtan right there in Mayapur. And then from 7:30 onwards in the evening, they'll have a special religious assembly. It doesn't say what they'll be doing in that assembly, but I'm sure that there will be kirtan and harikatha. Then on July 6th, on Saturday, that is the consecration ceremony of Sri Samadhi Temple and also the installation of Kalash. I'm not sure what Kalash is, but That's on Saturday. So that's going to go on in the morning time from 9:30 a.m. onwards on Saturday. Then the next day on July 7th, Sunday, then sorry, that other one was on July 6th, on Saturday. Okay. So then on July 7th, then there will be the deity installation, and here they're saying that it begins after 6:51 a.m. After 6:51 a.m., the deity installation begins in the morning. So then they say that in the evening time, from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., there will, on both July 6th and on July 7th, there will be transcendental glorification. And acharyas from the various institutions and also eminent persons from all over the world, they will sing the glories of the Mutt's founder president, His Divine Grace, Śrīmāda Bhakti-Doyata Madhav Goswami Vishnupad. And also the glories of his successor president, His Divine Grace, Śrīmāda Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Goswami Maharaj. So that's what's going on. So in my case, I want to be there on that Sunday morning when the deities are installed. And but in the afternoon on that day, I have to be back here, because our dear friend Anand Prabhu is having his 3rd annual Navadvip Ratha Yatra, and he's requesting us to be there by 4:30 to inaugurate the cart and the pulling of and the festival. So we will be there, Sajjan Maharaj and myself, and anyone else who wants to also be there. So yeah, so the installation is in the morning. I think this is going to be a very long process, but I still want to find out in detail, like what time the murtis will actually be placed on the altar, and first arti taking place and all of that. So what about Friday, which on this flyer is telling they're going to have Nagar Sankirtan, but that doesn't affect us because it's an afternoon program. So that Friday is also on the Vaishnava calendar. That Friday is the Gadadhar Pandit Prabhu and Sachidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur's disappearance day. So I'm suggesting, and you can comment if you agree or not, but I'm suggesting that we should move the class from Thursday to Friday. And then on that Friday class, then we can do this kata. What do you think? Would that work over there? Yeah?
Yes, it's reasonable.
Huh?
It's right.
Yes. Now the 2 days following that, meaning the Saturday the 6th, is the cleansing of the Gundicha temple, right? But the cleansing of the Gundicha temple on that day, which is the 6th of July, Saturday, there is a consecration ceremony of the Samadhi temple and the installation of the Kalash. So it's basically saying that from 9:30 in the morning onwards, that's what's going to take place on that day. So we can choose one of two things. We can choose, because we're going to have the Friday, we're going to shift it to Friday. So those other 2 days, Saturday, Sunday, are these quite, full days. So I don't think that on the Ratha Yatra day that it will be very possible to have class on that day.
But better have on
Huh?
Sunday. On Sunday, better have small.
Better what?
Better if you have
If we have what?
Harikatha Sunday.
On Sunday. But I just said the Ratha Yatra festival is on Sunday, and also on Sunday is the installation of that murti, which is in the morning time. So I think it will be too difficult to have the class on that day. But on Saturday, like I said, they're having this program going on Saturday from 9:30 in the morning. But I don't know the schedule. It's the consecration ceremony of the Samadhi temple. So, but we could have a class. We could have a class on Saturday. So like Friday and Saturday. That's one suggestion. Or there's another alternative, which is to not have a class on those 2 days. So in other words, there would only be the Friday class. The Friday class. So what's the choice? We can do either. We can have 2 classes on Friday and on Saturday, or we can have only 1 class on Friday. The Friday class is sure. So the question is Saturday and Sunday, whether we should have a class or not. So what's the decision? What do you think? Because like I already described, there's all these festivities are going on. It's going to be too difficult to go all the way over to there and have a class and come back and then have Ratha Yatra. And on the Friday, it's the day right after we just had the class. You see. So I think maybe a little bit difficult for those who are coming from Mayapur for the class to 2 days in a row. What do you think? Okay. So I think then we will not have class.
And means that there also will be too many people in person who will come from Mayapur.
There will be too many people that what? That are crossing? No. No. This is not like Gaur Purnima. This is just one of the mutts are having a grand opening festival. It won't be difficult to cross over. Not at all. So, yeah. So I think that's the decision, right? Is it agreed upon that no class on Saturday and Sunday, but class on Friday? Yes? Yes? Okay. Okay. Tikache. Hare Krishna. Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Bolo! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna. Jaya Sachinandan, Jaya Gaura Hari, Sachinandan, Jaya Gaura Hari. Gaura He, Gaura He, Gaura He, Gaura He, Gaura He. Nitai He, Nitai He, Nitai He, Nitai He. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Shri Ekadasi Titi Ki Jai, Shri Madhava Titi Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Jai. Vrindai Tulsidevai Priyai Keshavasya Krishna Bhakti Pradidevi Satyavachai Namo Nama Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.